Hi, everyone. So, this is it, the final week of one very, very bizarre semester. So, um, of course, there is a 20th century exam in addition to the readings that you have to do for this week. So, the two readings, and of course, you have until May the 7th, so it's not a Sunday night deadline like we've had every week. This deadline extends up until May the 7th, which is the following 3, 4, 5, 6, the following Thursday. So I know that you're busy. That's why there's no major paper due. In fact, you don't even have to write a paper on this week's readings. And there is no quiz that I remember. All the questions from these two readings are going to appear on that 20th century exam. I've given you a study guide. It all starts with World War I and keeps going until these two authors that we're reading for this week. The first one is Zadie Smith. Zadie Smith, by the way, both these authors are young ladies. They're both still alive. They're both actively writing. Zadie Smith, the waiter's wife. Zadie Smith was born to mixed parentage in London. Her mother was Jamaican, her father was English. So that's where we get the English literature at. And this is a story about a man who brings his wife and they relocate from Bangladesh to London. And the only job he can get is being a waiter in a family member's restaurant. So this is about the struggles that he has to face with that and the struggles that the wife has to face. Because she gets pregnant in this story and there are issues there on top of the fact that she is an immigrant woman living in London. Family is a very important theme in this, particularly her family, and so pay close attention to it. Then we've got Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and I do not take any shame in telling you I had to Google how to pronounce that properly, and I'm still not sure I got it completely right. But Miss Adichie here is a very, very powerful woman. She's born in Nigeria. She splits her time between Nigeria and the United States. She got her degrees from universities in the United States, like Johns Hopkins. She's done a couple of TED Talks. So if you really like what you read here and checking out, look her up on the TED Talks. She's got two of them. One, which is Why We Should All Be Feminists, and the other one is The Danger of a Single Story. And I think The Danger of a Single Story might be worth your time to watch as you look at checking out. It's a very, very powerful TED Talk about how there's more than one way to represent a culture. And many cultures are represented not only through their own stories, but through the stories of outsiders and things like that. And so we sometimes get bad information or bad images of other cultures. And she talks about that in this. Checking Out is about a man who is living in London illegally. And he's trying to arrange a sham marriage in order to stay in London. In this whole sham marriage thing, is highly expensive. He gets kind of jerked around by the people that are in charge of it. He does have friends that help him, like people that employ him and things like that. But when he finally meets this woman he's supposed to have this fake marriage with, turns out he likes her. And she genuinely seems to like him too. And so the question is, can he maneuver through all these obstacles and get married to this woman in time to not be deported as an illegal immigrant in London? So that's the big conflict there. So those are our two authors. No more papers if you've written them all. There's no reading quiz this week, but there is a 20th century exam and there will be questions to make sure you've read these two stories on that 20th century quiz. Get done with that and you're pretty much done for the semester. So feel free to email me if you have any questions, and I do hope that you will enjoy Zadie Smith and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.